pledge allegiance to the flag. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everybody. That was very well done. Yeah, in perfect unison. So
Yes, it was.
very, very good. Usually, Steve's a little off there. Clerk will take attendance and roll.
Cronin,
Here.
Langenhan is absent and excused.
Okay.
Maloney,
Here.
Opal,
Here.
Schaefer.
All right, thank you. B, correspondence and comments from the public on issues or matters which the Safer Board of Directors has oversight over. Anybody online or anybody in the public that would like to have an issue or a 5-minute speech? Hearing none, let's move to C, consent items. 4, approval of prior meeting minutes, June 11, 2024, and 5, approval of expenditures and receipts, June of 2024. What's your pleasure?
I'll move to approve both.
Motion to approve meeting minutes and expenditures receipts by Schaefer, second by Opal. Anything on the discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. D, business items, presentation on ambulance billing from EMS/MC.
All right, so
Hey, I thought you were going to be here. You're excused, so if you want to go get a Dairy Queen or something. Go ahead.
so as the board is aware, we've had fairly significant issues with EMS revenue recovery in 2024. I asked Tim Rosine is from EMSMC, formerly LifeQuest. He was a LifeQuest employee to come and give a presentation to the board, and you guys can certainly ask him any questions. He's basically here so you don't yell at me. You're going to yell at him instead.
We've never yelled at you.
I'm just.
Well, Fred has, but none of us have.
No, I know there's a lot of questions, and Eric and I have certainly had a lot of questions too. And we met with Tim for 30 minutes before the meeting here. The revenue continues to not look good. We've collected $7,000 for this month so far, and we need to average about $121,000 a month to hit our goals. So, and we are still close to $250,000 behind as of right now. So, so Tim is going to go through some of the reasons for that and kind of talk about what's going to happen over the next few months here. So.
Yeah, thank you.
Hold on.
Sorry.
There's actually no reasons that we should be out of anybody. Your company should be big enough. You should write a check, get it in our account, and then we'll work out the balance later. There's no reason you're here to tell us why we're behind. What's that?
We certainly can put that request in.
We're 3 or 4 months behind.
Let's let them talk.
I don't understand it. Without a bag of money, I can't imagine what you're going to tell us. But, so
Yeah,
you used to be with LifeQuest,
I did.
and you moved with the new company that's not paying us. Right? Good move?
I did
And
become.
was it a good
well,
move?
Sir, I didn't really have much of a choice.
Yeah, but are
be
we
honest with you.
the only one out right now? Or
No,
is everybody out?
No, I think so clearly I don't have great news in terms of immediately, as I explained to the chief. You're going to get the money. There's a couple reasons.
Can we have that in writing?
Yeah, I think our team would tell you where. I mean, I can't.
No,
force
a guarantee,
insurances
a
to pay.
personal guarantee that
Well,
we're going to get
no,
our
you're
money.
not. No, you can't.
Why?
Well, because I'm not going to personally.
I know it's our
guarantee
money.
anything.
It's our money.
What's that?
It's our money.
I gotcha. I'm a
Okay.
past chief. I certainly
Okay.
understand, especially where you're coming from. It won't do us any good to have any animosity. I'm on your team.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
That's why I'm here to try to shed some light in terms of what has been happening and what the plan is going forward.
Last
right?
question. Are you getting paid?
Do I get a salary?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do get a
Oh,
salary.
wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't work on this
Yeah.
account.
Okay.
This account works under Carrie Schrader, but obviously I do work for the company. You're coming across as if I've personally done something to you. I haven't. I'm on your team.
I'm asking you questions. I'm
Yeah.
directing
Well,
words to you
So
as the company.
If I
not
can,
as you. Whoa. You brought him here.
no, I
As
just wanted.
as I am talking to you as the company you work with.
Yeah.
It's absolutely not personal at all.
Well,
Period.
it feels like it.
No, well, it isn't.
Okay.
All right.
I would
So,
bet
and if
some
you
people
knew
around
me,
this
and
table
if you
think
knew
it is
me,
too.
you would understand
Yeah.
me better.
Well,
But I'm telling you flat out, it is absolutely not personal, but it's the company that you work for. And I'm sure this board is begging me to shut my mouth right now, and I will. Go ahead.
yeah.
please.
So, a couple main reasons why the revenue is lagging. Number one is that we have had a staffing issue, okay? Which is not your problem, but we aren't isolated from what's happening across the nation in every single industry. So for the months of early this year, I know there was a transition from your current EPCR to, I think, fireworks, which a little bit of a hiccup, right? Caused a little bit of a delay. That's not the bulk of the reasoning for that. The big, that I think got worked out between January and February-ish, somewhere there. Late February, March, and early April was a real bad time for us from a company standpoint in terms of staffing. And simply put, claims were not going out the door the way they should have been. It wasn't until like mid-June where those claims were going out properly the way they should. Completely, I work for the company completely out of my control, right? But I'm very transparent. There's nothing I'm going to keep hidden from you folks. I love the industry and understand the challenges that you face. Now, having said that, you've got $761,000 that have been built out that hasn't been collected yet, right? You will collect on that, right? Depending on what insurance is all involved, if that's all Medicare, you're going to get X, Y, Z. I could forecast what you had. If it's all Medicaid, I could give you this. If it's all private pay, I'm just saying that you have $760,000 worth of charges out there you will be collecting on. And I know that the chief, unfortunately, our team has been saying, next month. It's because, honestly, folks at my level of the involvement in the company, we were told that claims were going out the door that way. And unfortunately, it just wasn't happening that smoothly. Claims were going out the door, but not in the volume that they should have been going out the door. As we sit here today, claims are in and out. So what gets sent in today should be going out, although we've looked, and so far this month, we haven't charged out anything. So I need to follow up on that. Revenue-wise, as the chief indicated, last year we collected about $1.5 million. I rounded up. It was $1,487,000. So roughly $125,000 a month, right? And as the chief indicated, through today, I looked in our system, we've collected $555,000 of gross revenue. Based on historical data, you should be right at about $720,000. So that's about $170,000 down, but we've got $760,000 in AR claims that have recently gone out. So I think from a charge standpoint, last year you charged out $3.3 million totally. You're on track to charge out about $3.5 million if the charges continue the way they are. So I do believe you're going to be okay here very, very soon and in the long run. But I completely get where you're at right now, pushing the panic button. I've got it. And like I said, I'm on your team. I fully understand that. I don't normally work on this account, but I'm going to be actively involved. I told the chief, I talked to my boss's boss on the way up here to say, this is unacceptable. This is totally unacceptable that a service should be sitting in a situation like this, being down this revenue. The only caveat I can tell you, it's not like there's not charges there. It's not like I'm here saying, well, there's just nothing to collect on. There is plenty to collect on, and that money will start to roll in. I hope it's yet this month. I believe it should be, but I don't think at the end of the day you're going to be short. I think the performance will be there, albeit it took us a bit to get there. It's not acceptable. During my tenure with LifeQuest, I worked there many, many years, through this acquisition, I've never been to it. I'm equally as frustrated as you, sir, and I believe the same thing. There isn't an excuse for it. Unfortunately, I don't have the magic wand to change it, although I believe it has changed.
I have a quick question. So
Absolutely.
Everything up through June 30th has been billed out to the appropriate insurance. I don't exactly know the exact dates, but what our team has said to us, nothing in July has gone out yet.
There's not been any charges added for the month of July. Now,
we had a holiday that fell later, so
maybe everything's billed out through June 26th. I don't really know, to be honest, but given this time of month, as I met with them earlier, you should have had 80, 90 runs billed out. I don't know why that haven't been billed out.
So the question is, you came up here to meet with us, and you didn't check that before you came here.
Well, the reason for the visit is to discuss the lack of revenue. right?
Well, and the lack of
historically-
performance by your
well,
company.
Even the runs that have happened this month, you wouldn't have had any revenue from them. So I do need to check on why those haven't been billed out yet this month.
But that's the snowballing issue. Stuff doesn't get out, we don't get collected, and we're behind and behind
correct,
and
which
behind.
is what I just said to you.
We need to be absolutely current.
Right.
Number one.
How many dollars are we behind right now?
According to my board, we're 211 behind. Tim probably has a little bit more updated information.
I
He's
have
saying
about
like
170. Like, it's based on last year. If I look at
This is what
2023
happens. This is how it gets cloudy. This is like a shell game. How big are you guys?
in terms of what?
How big? How
Like
big?
clients, 1,500 clients across the country.
1,500. Regionally or what?
No, across the country.
Are we
1,500.
small, medium?
1,500.
No, you're most services, probably 40% of the services across the country do less than 2,000 runs a year. So, I mean, you guys are,
4,000.
I mean, you're not small.
So
I can tell you it has
so-
nothing to do with your size. It really doesn't.
But everyone's behind, not just a few. Everybody.
That is, as of
Can
mid-June.
you
that is-
imagine a very
that is-
aggressive accountant, what they could do with that money for 2 or 3 months?
Yeah, I can.
We're talking
yeah.
some serious, the way everything is right now.
Yeah.
We could be bringing in money left and right. And what my biggest problem is we can stab at a number, 125, 150. Somebody said 170, somebody said 210. 175. Pay it out. It's here. It's gotta be sitting somewhere, right?
Well, like I said, you have 760,000 in year-to-date charges that so far only 35,000 has come on that. So even if you want
But
some
it
sort of a
gets
rough
paid to their
estimate,
company, then gets paid to us.
no. So I know what your concern is, and I checked into that. It never sits in a bank account owned by them. It comes directly to us. The issue is, like Tim had said earlier. So I got two things. Like Tim had said earlier, the issue is the billing went out late, is what it boils down to.
for sure.
EMSMC did not
time
bill in a
and
timely
time
manner.
and time.
Yes.
Not once, whole bunch of times, right?
Well, it took place for about a good 2-month span.
Yeah.
We had a fairly significant issue with staff. We did for
We
a couple.
also have a very significant
I know.
problem with staff. We've got about 2,200 people in our company. We're owned by ourselves. We have about 3,000 customers. And if we did not send them fruit and vegetables for 2 months, our entire company would be collapsed. Done. Over with. This is just, it's actually mind-boggling.
Can we
It really
talk
is.
about the fact that you've been behind all along, we've been short money all year, except for, the January issue. What is the company going to do to, number one, make us whole on the interest that we lost? Because that would have been sitting in the bank earning 5+%. Number one, and then number two, you've talked about, you're on this account now. What's your action plan to make sure this stuff is billed and then followed through on? And then number three, there's an aspect of, I assume you guys are not going back after the old stuff. Part of your service is to go after the stuff that's uncollectible, and we have a whole rate schedule for that. But if you can't even get out the door the easy stuff, I'm sure you're not going back to look for that stuff.
No, so the stuff, as of April 1st, the new accounts, the new trips that you would have went on are in the new system, in the new EMSMC system. The stuff that up until April 1st through the end of March was in our LifeQuest system, right, historically. So that will continue to be worked, just like it always has been worked. And then, of course, new claims effectively as it is. So when I mentioned that I'm on the account, I'm not been reassigned to this account, but Carrie Schrader, who's the account manager, worked with the chief for many years, is equally as frustrated as the performance that she's seen, right? She's appalled, embarrassed, just as much as myself, right? So she has involved our senior leadership team. I normally only have a contact with my direct boss. As I mentioned to you, I talked to my boss's boss on the way up here and said, this is unacceptable. In fact, I told the chief he's coming to Wisconsin, and I've asked that he reach out to the chief and see if he can't schedule a time to come here and answer some of these questions, just as rightfully so as you have. From a revenue standpoint, as I mentioned, $760,000 is sitting in recent charges. Now, depending on who the payers are, right? If they were all Medicaid, it's going to be one thing. But just based on your historical payer mix, I would fully expect you to get, at a minimum, 50% of that amount. So it doesn't help you right now, and I'm sorry I don't have it in your bank book right now, our team doesn't, but I would say at a minimum, 350,000 is coming in, which is going to put you over where we are. I literally would not say this if I did not believe, and I've been in this game for a long time and worked with a lot of accounts. Things are going to be good. I'm not trying to smooth them over. I'm not trying to say, hey, for these last few months that we were less than what we should have been producing for you folks. I'm not happy about that at all. But I'm not here to say, like, yeah, you're just never going to get your money. Sorry. You're going to get your money.
So the question I had, which you haven't answered.
Because I know the industry. I've worked in it for 30 years.
So you're talking really quick, and you're talking real quick. What we need to do is, I asked you a question. What is your action plan with our account specifically to work on uncollectible? Because that would help us get more monies if you put more resources toward the uncollected and kind of squeeze that a little bit, number one. And then number two, how are you going to track that everything is going to go out the door? You said one thing you did say is, I'm going to go back and check. Well, is this...
Go ahead.
You're going to go back and there was an issue that things hadn't been billed yet, but you're going to go back and check on that.
Right, for this month.
For this month,
correct.
Call for this month. So what is your action plan for touching this account to make sure that it's not falling behind? That number one, we're squeezing the uncollectibles harder than we did in the past, and I would ask you to do that. Number two, constantly touching this account to make sure nothing's falling behind, because we always seem to be falling behind.
Yeah, so to answer your question, a lot of what needed to be done has already been done in terms of making sure the claims get out the door. Okay, and I see that in the charges. They're charged out. Now I have to sit here and wait for the payers to pay. They may try to deny for reasons, and we'll have to follow up like we would normally.
That's not my question. My question is, what are you doing in the future to make sure as new billings come in, nothing falls through the crack?
Yeah, so Carrie will be monitoring those. She's working with what's called an OPA on our team, which is a person that monitors those daily. That's already been assigned to your account. Carrie's already initiated that. That's already in play. I was hoping, I got kind of asked at the last minute to come here, but I was hoping to have that, what we call a deep dive, where they analyze what's sitting in Security Health, what's in United Healthcare, and what those payers all have parameters of what they pay on, and so we could get kind of a more of a pinpoint idea. But the idea, so the OPA's been assigned to the account, and Carrie will be monitoring this. I'm going to work with her to continue to do this. I've gotten, like I said, my boss's boss involved, and he obsesses over customer service, and he is not happy. I'm going to talk with him more. I said, let me go to the meeting, let me learn more.
Would you agree or promise to squeeze the uncollectibles a little bit harder?
Absolutely.
To get that money that's maybe, there's a lot of reasons why people don't pay, a code is wrong, et cetera. Have people, and that just takes manpower to go back and double.
100%.
You got to go back and double check that stuff and go, and then resubmit. But
I think we do generally a very good job with that. The issue specifically with your accounts was that the claims initially didn't go out the door because of a staffing issue. Okay, and we also identified that there, a lot of them are showing up as private pay, and your team gets face sheets from the hospital, so there shouldn't be that many going out as private pay. We should have insurance for those that are being provided. So that audit was supposed to be done and provided to me this afternoon. Again, the charges are there, but I don't understand why they haven't, more of these accounts don't have the insurance applied to them. And they very well could. It just depends on how depending on how the primary payer, when the call came in, if it was a private pay, but we actually had the insurance, it's still showing as a private pay in my system, and that's what I'm identifying as too high, but there very well may be the insurance there. So an audit has been done on that. I didn't get the results yet this afternoon. I don't think it's going to be earth-shattering because the charges are there. I can see the charge, the chief can see the charges in your dashboard for your service. The money will be coming in, right? What you have coming will be coming in. It was essentially the heart of this issue was claims didn't go out the door.
EMC and MC started when with us?
April 1st.
Of this year?
Correct.
Okay.
Well, EMSMC bought LifeQuest in February of 2022,
Right.
but your accounts were not in the EMSMC platform. They were always still being billed out of our LifeQuest system. We were the same company, just we kind of were operating the way we always had. But as of April 1st, your system, new accounts have gone into their system.
And where's our account rep located?
Right now, is Carrie still in Watoma? I'm
Yeah,
assuming?
she lives in Watoma.
How about
How
you?
many of these does she
I'm sorry?
have?
Where are you located?
Watoma. I live in.
How many does she have?
How many accounts?
Yeah.
I have no
She has
idea.
about 20, 25 accounts.
So
Yeah.
she's got this going on with 20 accounts.
No. I mean, what? There's been a little bit of a hiccup, of recently with like this whole late February, March, early April kind of delay in claims going out the door. But that's working its way out with a lot of services. We bill for a lot of services.
So let me ask it a different way. So our agency is in what percentage of this kind of crap with all the rest of your clients? 100%, 10%, 5%?
We don't. Are you asking me if 100% of the clients are behind
Yeah.
in revenue?
Is
No,
is
they're not
everybody else
100,
in our
but a high
situation?
percentage. I would
Just
say
wait,
75%.
I need to talk a little bit. So you're telling me that your whole company isn't in this mess? We are, but not everybody.
I would say 75% of them or more. I don't
Are
work
in
with
the
50
mess or are
have slowed revenue because of this. Now, in addition to this, I mean, I don't want to. There was a big issue with Change Healthcare. Change Healthcare is one of the biggest clearinghouses in the country, and they've had a delay. Part of the delay of claims being processed too is when Change Care processes the claims through the clearinghouse, they had a breach of data. They shut down receiving claims, and they process claims for hundreds and hundreds of some of the top payers. So even though claims went out the door, they kind of got to this Waystar clearinghouse, and because of the breach, which you can Google and read all about it, it involved the IRS and everyone, they weren't accepting claims. So it wasn't, I just take the brunt of it because, I feel like our performance, we lack. But there is, part of this issue is because of a national breach of data with Change Healthcare.
And if I could just interject one thing to kind of follow back to Fred's question about what we're doing moving forward. So internally, I look at the dashboard honestly like 2 or 3 times a day now to see what's coming through there. And we don't have anything officially set up, but we're basically talking or meeting. We had a web meeting with Carrie last week, and we're talking or meeting with her like once a week right now to kind of stay on top of things and see where they're at. And I will say, in Tim's defense a little bit, Tim and Carrie are doing, in my opinion, everything that they can. I think what happened is that LifeQuest was a small company. They got bought out by a massive company that, and Tim may tell me that I'm wrong, but I think LifeQuest cared very much about Safer and all of their services in the past. And I think EMSMC doesn't care. And the top 4 or 5, I should say they don't care. They don't care as much. The top 4 or 5 people probably don't even know our name. I mean, so it's just, it's in my opinion, it's what happens when a large company takes over.
Yeah, I mean...
I mean, if we're just going to keep spinning it, we're not.
Yeah, I think we're done here.
We're not going to do that. But I remember one really clear comment you made. Your boss's boss is really huge in customer service.
Obsesses over it.
Obsessed?
Yep.
Not now. Not
Yeah,
now.
he does.
Nope.
Yeah,
not
he
now.
does.
Nope.
Yep,
We wouldn't
he
be in
sure
this
does.
trouble.
Yes,
we wouldn't
he
be in
does.
this trouble.
Yes,
and
he
you
does.
haven't been with that company long enough to have that history and to have that knowledge.
I've been with them a couple years. I will tell you that I think overall things go really well. Unfortunately, we suffered. They probably took on more than they should have taken on in terms of buying acquisitions and making that transition. I do believe that, we've not had any companies that I'm aware of that I have anything to do with that aren't on track to get their revenue and will get their revenue. I mean, there are some that have, such as your own, that have lagged, and it's not acceptable, right, at all. It's not acceptable.
Are we able to measure what is collected in these last months versus what we used to collect on a monthly basis, same time period?
No.
I mean, because now we're just at the mercy of them, of what they say it could be collected, what couldn't be. He's talking about private. It shouldn't be so much private. It's all this should and would and could But there's no guarantees and there's no.
Yeah, there is a lot of moving pieces, obviously. I mean, that's part of the business, I would say. And Cher did send out an email to her admin group, and I think everybody except for one service that has had their billing taken over by EMSMC, and it wasn't all from LifeQuest. There was what was the name of the other one? Andres billing also. They're all in the same boat that
Who
we
else
are.
in this area here is EMS?
Wassa Fire, who I don't think we talked to. The biggest one though was Madison Fire, who said they were how many million?
3 million behind,
Yeah. So
Wassa is behind also.
which is about 50%, which is what, we're seeing. So
Do we have a timeline for when this is gonna
Well,
get caught back up?
We've been getting a timeline every month, and it's going to get taken care of.
I understand, Mark, but we've
Yeah.
heard that from, I want to hear it directly from Tim, so please.
yeah, what my boss's boss, Jason Brantley, told me is that everything up through the middle of July has been built up. So we are caught up, but that doesn't reconcile with when I look and say, why haven't your runs gone out for July? So I know we're much better off because I work with some clients that have been lagging revenue, and their revenues. One example, I won't say the name, but they're normally getting about 50,000. They were getting about 15,000, and this month they're already at about 65. So their things are coming in, right? And I fully expect that. I looked up until the minute. So claims are going out the door, and they're going out the door. I think appropriate. Although, like I said, we are looking at why are so many going out as private pay here versus having insurance that would have
Is that him?
had them. That is him. That is correct. Yep.
He is, his title is Chief Customer Officer.
That's correct.
Wow,
Yep.
Yeah,
doing a hell of a job.
yeah.
All right, let's move on.
Thank you, Mark.
thanks, Tim.
The seventh here.
Well, I do have one question
Oh, go
for
ahead.
Josh.
Go ahead.
How long can we put up with this before it starts hurting operational revenue?
Another 90 days probably.
Okay.
I mean, I'm at the
Technically,
point.
it's hurting us now.
It is. I mean,
Well, you know,
like you said, as far as the interest thing goes, it's hurting us now. I mean, the biggest issue I've had throughout this year is with the always lagging behind, and are we going to get it? Which they've been telling me that we are, just like yes tonight. Is do we have to brown out a position or two to offset what this is costing us? And I have not done that because I've been told it's going to come. So I mean, I've been taking a pretty big roll of the dice with the assurances that it will catch up towards the end of the year.
So our interest
End of the
income's
year?
lagging, so I think maybe what we need to do is get our brain trust within our financial arms
Yes.
to look at this and figure
Yep.
out a number, not
What's
you
this
guys,
cost us?
but, and say, we're out X amount of thousands of dollars, and by the way, here's your bill. But,
Yeah. I fully understand where you would be coming from.
okay,
Yeah.
thanks.
All right, number 7, discussion and possible action on an RFP for new ambulance billing agency.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I did do a little bit of searching for other options. We did have a webinar with 2 services within the past last week? Yeah.
Last week.
Last week and this week we had one. I will say is that there are not as many out there as there used to be because I think a lot of them are being bought out by big services like EMSMC.
By design.
You're probably right. We did a webinar with a company called iMed, which was a no-go. Without even getting into it, they're not going to work out. The other company that we just met with yesterday,
Yeah.
Pintor Billing, they're out of Montana. They are a small company. They struck me as very much like LifeQuest was. They have 50 clients currently. They are a small office that, they do everything manually like LifeQuest used to do. So I had to send them some further information. They're going to get us a quote, but they said they are more than capable of taking on a department our size. Their largest agency runs about 10,000 calls a year. And it sounds like they had some very small rural Montana agencies also. She said they do not have any accounts in Wisconsin currently, but they do have them all over the country.
Is that a big deal to not be in Wisconsin?
No, because Medicaid, Medicare, all the
All
insurance
federal,
rules
yeah.
they're national. Yes.
The nice thing, one of the really nice things with that company when we interviewed with them is one of the people we interviewed was a CEO.
Yeah.
Like Josh said, the CEO of EMMMC, they don't know who we are. They don't care.
They're out of Alabama.
And, we're getting a pitch from a company.
North Carolina.
We're getting a pitch from a company, and the CEO is one of the people pitching us.
The question I have is, we reached out
Yeah.
before, and we kinda got burnt on it, didn't we? We had another billing agency before, several years ago.
We did.
And it didn't really work out real well.
It did not. We had AccuMed in the past.
Okay.
They were,
And we're canvassing all areas, all different, like your thing that you
Yes.
talked to, and chiefs and everybody, right? Okay.
yeah, and we're going to dig into it a little bit more. But when Cher reached out, that was my initial plan, was to see who everybody else was using. And I think everybody on that list was EMSMC now.
Yes.
Because Wisconsin was a very high user of LifeQuest.
Okay.
Everybody used LifeQuest because they were local, they were good, they had spectacular customer service, but that has obviously changed with the acquisition.
Everything is getting bought out. Everything is.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden you start seeing these little elite, community type services. I don't mean with this.
And
but
they're starting to grow.
But and you're starting to, organic stores, coffee shops, all kinds of stuff like that.
Yep.
Funeral homes are being bought out everywhere. And it's just a really big deal, and it's creating a little niche for something to pop up and do a really good customer service and take care of,
Do you
like
wanna
this
issue an
Montana
RF
50.
If you want to issue an RFP on a specific, with a return date on a specific day, do you want to be more structured that way?
We can. The other thing that the board needs to be aware of that I think we can deal with is that we have a contract. Our contract was with LifeQuest through 2027.
Okay.
So we may need to work on figuring out ways to get out of that. I don't know how that works. That's obviously
I think April 1st, we're out. When
That's
that went to EMS,
what I'm wondering,
when that went
yes.
to EMS, absolutely.
Did
and
we
the way
sign
they've been
anything
treating
to
us-
say we acknowledge that it's EMC?
Not that I recall.
Well, we went last year, I think we just signed this contract last year because we went out for RFP just to see if we could get a lower rate, and they actually dropped their rate 0.5%. I don't know if anything was in there that said that.
So we signed this
that
last year, but they.
I
We need
believe
to-
it
we
was
need to read
last
the-
year.
we need to
Wasn't
read
it
the-
last year?
I'll get a copy of the contract and
Get a copy of the contract.
look through and see where we're at.
Doesn't hurt to look, so,
It was
So
last year,
do we-
wasn't it?
Might have been, I can't.
For an RFP for just the one in Montana is what we're looking
Well,
at?
and we can continue to look. I've just been looking for the last few days, and like I said, I just did a Google search and I had Cher send out that email, and I figured there would be dozens. I couldn't find many.
Even administration, if we could look, for other, municipalities that, who are they using? Maybe if the connection can't be this way, maybe it could be, with you.
Or we do it
And,
internal,
We have a,
hire human.
That was
we
the
have
other
a management,
thing I wanted to bring up.
like posting,
Right,
that
okay.
we can put out
And see.
on our, as WCNA members.
You have no idea?
And then find out what other municipalities use.
Who are you happy with,
Right.
how,
We can certainly
tell us
do
who your
that.
breakboard is for collecting money for us, yep.
Yeah.
The other thing I wanted to ask the board about, and I don't have an opinion one way or the other, somebody mentioned this to me about the other day about maybe approaching WASA and see if they'd want to, if we work together, then we could maybe hire 2 or 3 people and could do
Absolutely.
we could have
All
them
day long.
internally,
Yeah.
and they could do the billing for us and
Yeah.
WASA.
What are we paying, like LifeQuest a year?
It's like 175.
And now EMS is the same?
Yeah.
It went down to
yeah.
0.5%?
So it is in their best interest to collect as much money also
Sure it
because
is.
they get paid a
Sure.
percentage of what they collect.
And WASA's collecting by themselves, or?
No,
with-
WASA's currently with EMSMC also.
Yeah.
Boy, let's go.
So I have not
So
made
it'd
that
be
contact yet.
Probably be $100,000, I'm just guessing, at a minimum $100,000 system.
I have. Oh, you mean like software and
It'd
stuff?
be $100,000
I have no
So
idea.
who's Rothschild with?
And then it'd be $100,000
AccuMed.
per person per year.
They do their own? That's what I thought.
It's a mix.
It's a mix, yes. They do kind of do it their own, but then they also use AccuMed.
Melanie does like the follow-up, so she's
Yeah.
the one that's.
And Acumen is one that we did not do well with.
Yeah.
And I'm not opposed to that, but it needs to be more than one person, because if something
Yes.
happens and that
Right.
one person suddenly ups and leaves, or
Well, that's what he was
is
saying.
out the door for
If
some
we're
sort
with-
of leave, I
if
mean,
we're
then
with
we're up.
Lawson,
then
That
we're
was
in
why
trouble.
that was why we
That
looked at
happened
the
to
joint
Ben.
venture thing. Yeah, they went to military. They were
Yeah.
going for the military. Yep.
Okay,
Um,
let's just move
Yeah,
forward.
we
on
don't think we could do it alone because of that.
It's gotta be more than one person.
I can talk to the city and see if they have any interest.
that. Yep,
Makes sense
okay.
to hire one person, we don't want just one person.
Otherwise, would you like me to prepare an RFP and send it out to whoever we think is
Yes.
appropriate?
Yes, sir, I would, as a board, yes?
You bet.
All
Well,
right,
someone's
so,
gotta make the motion.
We need a motion.
I'll make a motion.
By Keith made the motion and Fred seconded it. Any more on the discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Number 8, discussion and possible action on RFP for audit services.
So we are up for a new contract for audit services. We had a 3-year with Hawkins Ash. Do we want to approach Hawkins Ash and just ask them for a quote on 3 more years, or do we want to go out for RFP for multiple different agencies? What would your thoughts be?
Are we happy with them?
Yeah, they've been good. I mean, the only thing they do that I don't like is nothing happens for weeks, and then they want a ton of information, and they want it right now, and they don't care what else you're doing. That's my only complaint, but I mean, they do the same thing to Jessica. I think we've both kind of gotten used to it.
Because you're on deck, and here we go. Now,
Yeah,
I will say, the world is very different than it was 3 years ago when we signed that contract. So I don't
When
think
you're
sending it
up,
out
let's
an
go.
RFP
Let's
would
get you done.
hurt.
I'm
I
open to
think
it
you're
either
gonna
way.
get a big number back, because all the nonprofits, I'm on a lot of nonprofit boards, we're just getting killed with audit services. And you're probably gonna find that. So I would think you're gonna see a big number, but what they could do is say, what do you think? Start there, and if it's a big number, then you go to the RFP.
Okay, I can do
Is that what you want to do?
Yeah, I think we should start by just, hey, we're talking about an RFP, we're gonna give you a chance.
Yeah.
And maybe they'll sharpen their pencil.
Yeah.
And if it comes back somewhere close to what we already got, then what?
I'm guessing for them, it's fairly easy to continue doing it because they have the boilerplate
Yeah.
for our
But-
services. So
It's they've been going through the roof, the audit services. And I think what you're gonna find is they're gonna come back with like a 30% increase, and then you're gonna like, we gotta go out for RFP.
I will ask that question, and then I'll bring that back to the next meeting.
Okay,
Okay.
perfect. Number 9, end of month budget review.
So that is in the packet. Hang on, I got to make myself a note, otherwise I'll forget. That's in the packet. The good news is, as far as expenditures, I did forecast it out a bit. We're running a little bit under expenditure-wise. I'm anticipating coming in, and granted, we're only halfway through the year. A lot of things could change. I'm anticipating approximately $50,000 under budget on expenditures. It was interesting because I was literally going through the budget and saying we're doing really good on vehicle maintenance this year. In about 15 minutes, the guys walked in my office with parts of a pump in their hand.
Yeah.
So we have an engine down at Red Power right now, having the pump removed and gone through and checked over. So I don't think it's going to be awful, but it's going to be a somewhat expensive bill.
Which truck?
Engine 11. They were doing pump training out here, and they sucked the inlet screen, broke, and it got sucked through the pump.
Oh, wait.
We don't think it did any damage, but Red Power's recommendation was that the pump should come out and be gone.
To rebuild.
Oh, yeah. I would think so.
So that's what we did.
Is it a warranty issue? Or
No.
Unfortunately, because we have a month left of warranty.
Well, it would have been a warranty issue, except that since that filter failed,
Yeah.
it went through the pump. They're not going to warranty that. It's not a defect of the pump.
Okay. Let's see, under review, just being just a review. Now, you want to switch anything around here or go into closed session?
That's up to you, unless you want us to do our reports first. That's totally up to you.
What does everybody think?
Let's do the reports and
Let's do that,
save the
yeah.
closed session for the end.
I agree. So any attorney referrals first?
Done.
None? Okay. E, staff reports, report from fire chief.
So we do have the open position that we had posted. It has 1 day remaining, well, about a half day. Noon tomorrow closes. We have currently 3 applicants. All are firefighter paramedic, 2 internal, 1 external. We're going to do interviews for that position next Tuesday. All 3 candidates, I don't know the external at all, but the 2 internals I do know are both solid candidates. On paper, the external also appears to be a good candidate.
Okay.
Ladder truck, we would expect delivery, I'm going to say in the next 2 to 4 weeks. They are continuing to tell us the last week of July or the first week of August. So we're on pace for that. Other than that, we're going to be burning the house in Rib Mountain here. We didn't pick a date yet.
Yeah, we got 3 dates. It's July 25th,
Woodbine,
July 30th, or August.
It's the end of the month.
The 25th and 30th.
Sometime the end of the month. I'll send out an email, especially to Gayleen and Fred and Al,
It's-
Okay.
to let you guys know when it's going
It's
on.
looking like July 30th right now,
Okay.
because July 25th, Callie's got.
Good thing you're not
Training
gonna start any
schedule,
brush on
right?
fire.
No. That is all I have.
Okay. Okay.
My report is in the packet. Highlights, we do have a signed ratified contract with Local 5452. Sorry about my typo. 5452. So that contract goes through the end of 2026. So that's taken care of. I would say that right now we have fairly good labor relations and labor peace. After we got through the negotiation, everything's been pretty smooth sailing, open communications, everything's been really good the last 2 months. So, our call volume is there, fire response call volume, we had a number of fires, a lot of them you can see were mutual aid. Mutual aid to Corona Water, mutual aid to Easton, and then a number of other fires. Training hours are there. Nothing to report on the apparatus other than the truck, like the chief said, fire prevention numbers. And for DNR, we did submit the DNR grant. That is I think it was $10,000 we submitted this year for DNR. That's a 50-50 match grant. We've gotten that the last 2 or 3 years in a row. And talking with the DNR representative, it sounds like out of Marathon County, there's like 4 or 5 departments that put in for it out of the 19 that we have. He doesn't know why, but so we should get partial or all of that grant, hopefully. And that just supplies equipment things specifically for wildland firefighting. Graphs of run volumes are on the next 2 pages, and if you have any questions, I can field those.
And our facilities are done, not quite half.
Yeah, there are a number of factors that have to do with that. Number one, our IFT staff has kind of fallen off a little bit of a ledge. We're looking at that and we're contacting them. We haven't seen a lot of IFT staff here. Most of the IFTs that are being taken, the majority of them are on duty where 4 months ago that was the opposite.
That was Tim.
Yeah,
That was a big part.
Tim
But
was
the
a
other
huge
thing
loss.
is I understand that's the reason. But the question is, what's your action plan to
Yeah.
get those up?
So we have a candidate in the pool right now. We think is going to work out really well. She's going through the final stages of her psych eval, and I mean we're going to probably what we'll have to do is post for more IFT staff. We have a second one in the pipe, and I got to contact him. He's full time in Merrill, and he said he was looking to start like more towards August. So I just got to find out where he's at because I want to get him in the pre-employment stuff so we can start him in August and get him going.
Well, hire some IFT people and just start cranking, because
yeah.
that will help.
We've been trying.
Yeah,
Don't
we've
get
been
the
trying.
It's not enough money.
Yeah.
Everybody wants. I mean, they're nurses and paramedics. They want like $60 an hour
Yeah,
And we're paying like 30 some.
$32.50.
because they can go to the
So-
hospital and make.
So run the numbers. Does 40 still make us money?
I don't know off the top of my head. I can.
Okay, that's, I'm just.
I can look at it.
I'm just throwing stuff at you. I'm
Yep.
not
No, I
trying-
get you.
Yeah.
I get
I'm
you.
just trying to say, let's look at this. Because we're behind with revenue. So
Yeah.
one of the ways we can do this, if we end the year strong with IFT, interfacility transports, all of a sudden, we can come back.
Are there other agencies doing them that haven't been in the past as well?
Riverside is the other main one.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have, I mean, the one thing we have done over the last month is I've talked to all the battalion chiefs, and they are acutely aware that our IFT numbers are half of what they were last year. Last year we were running 30, 35 a month, and they're acutely aware that we have a revenue problem. And I've not made that a secret because sending out those IFTs is up to the battalion chiefs. They're the ones managing the shift. So I started there. We're kind of putting the pressure on them. And then the second thing I need to do, we just did the schedule and did payroll, so I'm going to look through again at our IFT staff and who is and is not maintaining their activity levels, and I'm going to start contacting them. Because if they're not running calls, then
Well, I'm
They're
glad
not
you
gonna
have
be
that
employees.
realization. I mean, one of the reasons why Safer's doing very well right now is because we've been flush with cash, and so there's not
right.
pressure by our respective boards to go, what the hell's going on over there? So that keeps us all happy because
Yeah.
we can go back with the revenue. Now, if the revenue's back and all of a sudden we go back and say we need a lot of money from each board beyond the union issues and beyond the other issues, then that's going to be a problem. And then our boards will be like, what the heck is going on there? We need and we went through that once. I don't want to do that again, Mark.
I totally agree.
I like
Totally
you
agree.
now, Mark.
Yeah. Okay.
The other, there's
Yeah,
two
meeting's
things.
not over. Yeah, there you go.
There's
It's not over.
Two things I want to add to that. Number one, part of the reason for the decline is it's summer, and
Yeah.
everybody's got a ton of things going on in the summer, so it's harder to get those off-duty people to come in. And our daily staffing is we're usually at minimum.
Yeah. That was,
So that was the same issue last summer.
yeah.
Well,
Right.
we had the big thing, and Fred mentioned earlier, is we had one individual last year that literally went on 80% of our transfers.
Okay.
So when you
Yeah.
pull that one individual
Okay.
out, it makes
Okay.
a massive difference.
Massive difference, okay.
Because when we're at minimum staffing, we're at 6. We can send one of those
Yep.
people on a transfer, but we can't send both.
Right.
So if we had that one person doing 80%, we can send the one person on shift.
Yeah.
We can run 5 of staffing and still get out our 2 ambulances
Right.
and have 1 fire person,
Okay.
which is very low staffing. But
Okay.
Okay.
I have just one question, and it's when, Sheriff, you sent, his addition to the packet tonight, you know, because the deputy, and I've seen it before, but I guess I noticed it more this time, is on the bottom, the 2 logos.
Yes.
Okay, is that mandatory? I just want to know why that was done, and if there's a reason, number one, I just wondered. And then number 2 is that other logo gonna go on our equipment too? Will it go on all?
That's, that is the
it's her association
Oh.
membership.
association with the administrative group. So
Okay.
the Wisconsin Fire Service Administrative Association.
Okay,
There's other admin assistants that also have that next to their
okay,
department's logo.
okay,
It's a group that Share is pretty heavily involved in.
Okay.
That's actually
Yeah.
very beneficial for us.
okay. I would just, I guess I didn't know why that was there, but I think the safer emblem should be the largest. Okay, so if we're looking at 3 flags outside of a building, the American flag always is the tallest and the largest. And the safer our emblem, who everything is without safer, that emblem wouldn't be here. And right now, it's a little bit larger, it could just be the way it was put in, but, just little things like that, I catch, and not all of them, of course, but, anyway, okay. And I mean, because if that's there, then is there a union emblem, is there this emblem, is it that emblem? I'm just wondering how full that can all be. If it's very good for us, and you work really well with it, fine. So, okay, I'm good. Okay, so now, closed session?
I'll make a motion to move into closed session pursuant to Wisconsin statutes 1985, paren 1, paren E, deliberating or negotiating the purchase of public properties, investing of public funds, or conducting other specified public business, whatever competitive or bargaining reasons require a closed session. 2 wit, possible merger of departments and update with other municipalities.
Second.
So motion by Schaefer, second by Cronin. Let's see, all those in favor, or roll call?
No, roll call.
Roll call.
I always mess that up.
Cronin,
Aye.
Langenhahn,
Aye.
Maloney,
Aye,
Opel,
Aye.
Schaefer.
Aye.
we are now in closed session.
Can we make sure she didn't leave anything behind other than her little stand there?
Yeah. Normally, let's just put that
I
outside.
don't think there's any.
I know, but we can just set it
Can we
outside.
just, yeah.
I know that one.
Yeah, we'll just put it out in the hallway. That's a good point.